Welcome to another day of reading of the book Surcharged with Divine Love, written by Sukhmani Aunty and published by Unistar Books Private Limited. Chapter 36 Parenting ਹਰ ਮਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਬੱਚਾ 10 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਸ਼ ਟੇਕ ਓਵਰ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Every mother is the guru of a child till the child reaches the age of 10 years. After that, we Mahapurush take over. Guruji often spoke about the importance of a mother's role in the upbringing of a child. Parents were told to instill good values in their children and children were often told to obey parents. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਰਸਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਖੁਦ ਹੀ ਛੇੜਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਬॉयਫ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਗਰਲਫ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਹੈ। ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਖੁਦ ਬੁਰੇ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਇੰਨੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ। ਕਿੰਨੇ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਹਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਦੇ ਹਨ। When the child goes to nursery school, parents themselves start teasing the child about girlfriends and boyfriends. They are themselves unknowingly giving wrong values to their children. How many parents teach such a small child to take the name of God? Mothers were urged to spend quality time with their children and teach them the importance of having a good solid value system. It is what you teach your child in the early years that go with them throughout life. It is these good values that will keep your child grounded when he first tastes success. He will not falter, and these values will keep your child from breaking when he faces failure and crisis in life. Help the child strike a balance between spiritualism and materialism. This is one major responsibility of every parent, especially a mother. Guruji often quoted from the Gurbani, "O ਮਾਂ ਬਾਂਝ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ ਜਿਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੋੜਿਆ." The mother who doesn't teach her child about God is better off being childless. A couple have a son after many years of marriage. The father likes to discipline the child from time to time, but the mother is so blinded by her love for her son that she would often fight with her husband for doing so. She covers all his mistakes and lies to her husband in order to protect her son. Eventually, the child learns that it is okay to lie. So, the son goes from small lies to bigger ones and from bigger lies to a life of wrongdoings and deceit. When he dies, he is taken to hell and punished for all the wrong he did in his life. He realizes that he was guided wrong by his mother and becomes very resentful of her. When the mother dies, she is taken to hell and she wonders what she did wrong in her life that she was sent there. She is then taken to where her son is being beaten up and punished, and then she realizes her mistake. Her son signals her to come closer as if wanting to say something in her ear. As she puts her ear to him, he bites it off in a fit of rage. He curses her and blames her for his condition. "Mother, it is because of you that I am facing the kind of miseries and punishments in hell. I despise you and blame you for shielding all my wrong actions. Why didn't you slap me and point out to me what is wrong and what is right when I made my first mistake? Why didn't you break my legs when you saw I was walking a path of sin? It is your fault and I blame you entirely." This katha beautifully illustrates the role of a mother in shaping the destiny of a child. I hope and pray all mothers take their responsibility seriously and give their children the right values. It is not cool to be so modern that you question the existence of God. It is not being old-fashioned when you teach your children about God. In fact, it is these very so-called old-fashioned values that will help you sail through this Kali Yuga. Chapter 37 Disciple. When you choose a guru, you become a follower. When your guru chooses you, you become a disciple. Naushir. The relationship between a guru and a disciple is the most loving and most precious of all relationships. Most of the times, this relationship is carried over from many lifetimes. When a guru sees that his disciples are struggling to keep afloat in the seas of illusions and Maya, he takes a physical form to guide them back home. The word Bhagat, disciple, has the following meaning. Bha meaning bhav or pyar. Ga meaning gyan or knowledge. And Ta for tyag or sacrifice. So primarily, a disciple must have love and respect for his guru, must be ready to accept the knowledge that his guru imparts to him, and should be ready to sacrifice for his guru to be called a disciple. Besides the above mentioned qualities, he must also be loyal, truthful, and obedient. He must have a clean heart and must have in him the desire to walk on the path that his guru has laid out for him. He must try to become a better human being by practicing in his daily life all that his guru teaches and has faith in his guru. Guruji, how do you choose your disciples? Is there a criterion? I asked. ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦਾ ਬਰਤਨ ਖਰੀਦਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਠੋਕ ਵਜਾ ਕਰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੱਚਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਸੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਠੋਕ ਵਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਸੱਲੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਭਗਤ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ ਹਾਂ. The way you test an earthen pot by knocking on it to check if it isn't weak, similarly, I too check my Sangat thoroughly before I choose a disciple. How do you test us? I probed. ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬੇਰੀ ਦਾ ਫਲ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਏ, ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬੇਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਹਿਲਾ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੱਚੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਡਿੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਕਾਉਂਦਾ ਹਾਂ. ਪੱਕਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਨਿੰਬੂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਨਿਚੋੜਦਾ ਹਾਂ. ਨਿਚੋੜਨ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹੀ ਇਸ ਟੈਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਸਦੀ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹਾਂ. The people who come to me are like a fruit on a tree. I first shake the tree. The ones who have to fall off will fall, and the ones that remain, I prepare them to be ripened. After ripening, I squeeze them like one does to a lemon. In spite of going through all this, the ones who still come to me are the ones who have passed the test. They are allowed to be my disciples, and I look after their every small need. Osho too describes it beautifully. With me, illusions are bound to be shattered. I'm here to shatter all illusions. Yes, it will irritate you. It will annoy you. That's my way of functioning and working. I will sabotage you from your very roots. Unless you are totally destroyed as a mind, there is no hope for you. Guruji, a lot of people, including me, are going through so much sorrow in spite of being under your care. Couldn't God find anyone rather other than me? I asked. ऐसा नहीं ਹੁੰਦਾ. मैं अगले पिछले कर्म सब बैलेंस कर रहा हाँ. दुख बहुत ज़रूरी ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਦੁੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਅਸਲੀ ਸਪਿਰਿਚੁਅਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਪ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਸੋਨਾ ਨਿਖਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਸੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੁੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਅਸਲੀ ਨਿਖਾਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ. It's not that God has no one to bother but you. I am balancing your previous negative karma. Sorrow is very important. Just as gold must be cleaned in fire, so does the soul get purified, and more spiritual progress is made in sorrow than in happiness. I then understood that once you come under the guidance of a guru, once he accepts you as his disciple, a lot of karmas can be burned by the guru if he so desires, but the slate is never wiped clean. We have to work out our own karmas but with the Guru's guidance, it becomes much easier for us to do so. A true disciple is one who further helps others to walk the path of realization. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੀ ਹਾਂ, ਲਿਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਫਲ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ. Not only the person you bring to me will be blessed, but you too will get a share of the blessing. Every disciple is trained by the Guru according to his ability and degree. This degree is only known to the true master. ਮੇਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੌਣ ਕਿਸ ਕਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ. ਇਹ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਸ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੀਕ੍ਰੇਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਟਰੀਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ. Only I know who is spiritually in which class. We Mahapurush never tell this is our secret. I treat everyone equally but love them according to their levels. The power of a pure disciple is such that if the Guru wishes, he too can help wash and elevate other souls on the road to God realization. You're all like inverted vessels. My blessing is like the rain that washes these vessels. With my blessings, one of you may become upright and start to fill up. When full to the brim, then one upright vessel can take on the duty of washing the others. Osho. A disciple may many times be reprimanded by his Guru. This may be to either test the disciple or for a greater good known only to the master. Always take it well without any negativity. Be sublime and never ever answer back. ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਾਂਟਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. When I scold you, I'm actually blessing you in a big way. Many times I have noticed that if Guruji shuns someone away, he is not doing it to you. He is in fact shunning away your bad grah that are probably surrounding you at that moment. One can never understand a Guru, even if you live with him for 100 years. You will never completely understand him. He is too great for us mortals to understand. As Guruji often said, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਖਤਮ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੋਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. Where your thoughts end, mine start. Out of 1,000,000 disciples, if even one becomes pure and changes his life for the better, a Guru is very happy. One must surrender oneself completely to his Guru, and even after the Guru leaves his body, he should continue to live in the ways his Guru had taught him. This is a disciple's biggest test. When the master is not physically present to point out your mistakes, one does tend to falter. Those who remain true to their Guru and don't falter get immense help from their Guru and they progress very fast. The secret is to follow your master's every word. Disciple and Seva, service. If one is granted the opportunity to do seva in a Guru's temple, he is indeed highly blessed. But remember, he is also under a test and thorough scrutiny of his Guru. Seva is a beautiful and precious opportunity that your Guru gives you to work out and clean your bad karma. Never think you or I have anything special within us that we are given seva. During seva, if another disciple is rude to you, do not react or be rude in return. This is the first test you will be subjected to. Let go of your ego and be polite. Even if the other disciple is being unreasonable, always remember your Guru is watching and he himself will do justice. It is not our job to get even or hold a grudge. Many times during seva, I have been subjected to such tests and each time I was taught to remain low and stay humble. Guruji, why when I am just doing what you tell me to do, are people so rude and not listen to your instructions? I asked Guruji. Sukhmani, ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੰਦਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਧੱਕੇ ਵੀ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਨ। ਮੂਰਖੋਂ ਕੇ ਹਮਦਾਸ ਤੇਰੇ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। In a Guru's temple, if someone treats you badly or is rude to you, consider it a blessing in disguise as they are taking your bad karmas. Remain humble. By choosing to do seva in a temple, one does not gain a status or higher position, but in fact, one himself opts to be a servant of not just the Guru, but also of his Sangat. There is no hierarchy in the Sangat. It is a tough test to pass. If a disciple does seva to gain importance or an edge over the others, then his very purpose of doing seva is defeated. Such seva you can do for years, and you will still be bereft of his true blessings. If in one's ego you hurt the feelings of another disciple, do know this for a fact: you have failed miserably. You have not only lost the fruits of all the good you have done in your past, but have further taken on the bad karmas of the one you have hurt. Seva must be done with the right intentions. Do seva to rid yourselves of your bad karmas, to seek forgiveness for your sins, and for the true love of your Guru and his Sangat. You cannot fool your Guru. I remember Guruji once asking a particular person to make a special churn and bring to him immediately. Since she was unwell at that moment, she rang up my mother to make the churn and take it to Guruji. On seeing my mother with the churn instead of that person, Guruji immediately asked about her. Sukhi, ਉਹ क्यों नहीं आई चूरन लैके? ਤੈਨੂੰ क्यों भेजिया है? Why hasn't she come herself? Why did she ask you to bring the children? Mom told Guruji that she was unwell and thus was unable to travel. On hearing this, Guruji said, "Fir mar jandi Guruaं vaste." Then she should have died for her Guru. He further explained that it was to bless her and rid her of her ailment that he had given her the opportunity of seva. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਸਦੇ ਚੂਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਬਲੈਸ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੁਲਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ. I didn't need her children. I was calling her to bless her. This was a big lesson for me. When your Guru calls, no matter how sick or ill you may be, just get up and go. At least try. If your Guru says run, you just run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, then I suggest you crawl. But you must try because it's for your own benefit. The faith of the disciple must always be securely grounded on his experience of the divinity of the Master. He must not be like a straw carried anywhere by the slightest breeze. He should be like a rock which remains unmoved in the severest of storms. Meher Baba. Disciple and spiritual development. As a disciple, it's very good to listen to the satsangs narrated by other disciples. No doubt they help you build your faith in your Guru. But once the faith is formed, then what? I suggest then you take your first step on your journey with your Guru. Take all that you have learned from all the satsangs you have heard and practice them in your daily life. Humility, meditation, charity, simplicity and surrender are all ways and means to develop spiritually. Make your connection directly with Him. People today are so curious about others and so busy listening to experience of others that they completely forget to work on themselves. When our time comes, we will be questioned about the work we have done and not about what all we have heard others do. Precious time is being lost on others, and one fine day we may get the rude shock that we have no more time left. Spirituality is not a race. It's not about who has better experiences than you. It is a continuous process of creating a better version of yourself each and every day of your life. It's an inward journey, and the sooner we start, the better. Just as the apps on our phones needs to be updated and upgraded, so does our soul. Spiritual practices help upgrade our souls. They help us rise above ritualism, fanaticism, and cult beliefs. Aim to be spiritual, it's liberating. Chapter 38, Satsang. Sat means true and Sang means company. Therefore, Satsang means the company of a true Guru or meeting of people to talk about the true Guru or the truth. Satsang has been given great importance in all scriptures. One must attend or do satsang in order to purify one's soul. The best satsang is one where the Guru is physically present and is giving direct sermons or blessings. However, even in the absence of a Guru in physical form, one must seek the presence of fellow seekers and believers. It is believed that wherever there is satsang, Guru has to be present. Like Christ said, "When more than one man sit in my name, I am there." It is because we are under his direct vibrations that satsang has so much power and importance. There is a very interesting story that highlights the importance of satsang. Rishi Vashisht and Rishi Vishwamitra had an argument about whether satsang or penance was superior to the other. Rishi Vashisht proclaimed satsang to be superior, whereas Vishwamitra claimed that penance was superior. To decide who was right, they went to the Lord. The Lord said, "The serpent Shesh will be able to answer your question." When the two went to the serpent Shesh and put the same question to him, he replied, "Please ease the load of the earth from my head. Only then will I think and give an answer." Vishwamitra made a resolve. "I offer the merits accrued from 1,000 years of my penance. May the earth on Shesh's head lift a little." The earth did not move even a fraction. Then Rishi Vashisht expressed his resolve. "I offer the merits accrued from 12 minutes of being in satsang. May the earth on Shesh's head lift a little." And the earth lifted. To attend or hold a satsang is not enough. Your body and soul both must be there. Don't let your mind wander. Forget the world. Forget your worries. Don't try to look at what the others are wearing. Listen to the shabads, and not only must you listen, you must also try to implement the teachings into your daily lives and see how you benefit from it. Satsang is not a number game. If you think more the people you invite, the better your satsang will be, then you're mistaken. In a satsang, one must have people who come and bless you and your home. If even a single person comes who is not happy or is jealous, he will leave all his negativity in your house. So be mindful of who you include in a satsang. When so many like-minded people sit together in meditation during satsangs, the vibrations are raised to such an extent that it's sitting like in Sachkhand heaven. Through satsang, illnesses can be cured and a sinner can rid himself of all his sins. By talking about your Guru or listening to his greatness, your ego melts and your soul is purified. One learns to love God and each of His creations. No one is superior or inferior to the other. In a satsang, all are equal. Simplicity in a satsang is a must. Even when Guruji was in his physical body, we were told to keep satsang at our home. In those days, he himself used to tell us who to invite. He insisted on keeping the satsang simple, and regarding langar, he always used to tell us, "Ik dal, ik sabzi ta ik mitha, bas zyada kuch nahi karna. Just make one dal, one vegetable and one sweet dish. Don't do too much and keep it simple." I never ordered flowers or did anything fancy. I only used what grew in the garden to decorate his asan. In this simple setting, with a very simple menu, he came each time to bless the Sangat and us. Bin bhaga satsang na labbe, meaning without good karmas one cannot find or attend satsang. When God showers His grace, you get satsang. The sanctity of a satsang should be maintained at every cost. Reach the satsang on time. Don't make your guru wait. लोग अपनी दुकान बंद करके फिर आंदे हन गुरु कोल, कोई फायदा नहीं फिर आंदा, कम छड़ के गुरु वाल आऊंगे ता ही खटोंगे. People finish their work and then come to me. You will benefit if you leave your work for your guru and come. Always believe your guru to be present at the satsang. He always comes to bless his sangat. Except for the name of the guru, no other business should be discussed or talked about. The following katha will further help you understand the importance of satsang. One day, Naraji keeps a fast and decides to break it only after having the darshans of the Lord. Naraji had the ability to travel within seconds to wherever he wanted to go. He goes to Vaikuntha and sees the Lord isn't there. He goes to Lakshmi ji and asks her. She replies that since you can see the three worlds, you see where he is. He starts to see with his vision. He goes to all big places but cannot find him there. He takes a look in all temples and into the hearts of yogis and still cannot find him. Finally, he prays to the Lord to show himself. The Lord speaks to Naraji and tells him to reach a certain house. Naraji goes there and is surprised to see the Lord sitting in satsang amongst people in an ordinary roop. Naraji asks the Lord why he has come here, and the Lord replies, "These people invited me with love and said I mean everything to them and that I must come to their satsang. So here I am. You will always find me in a satsang." The nectar of divine love flows during a satsang and it falls on each one of us. How much we benefit from the satsang is directly proportional to our spiritual level, our love for God, and our control over our ego. Satsang is so powerful that it can burn the five vices in us. By being in the company of the spiritual, our mind will neither go astray nor engage in futile thoughts. Always play the Gurbani in a satsang as Bani has come from the heavens. They will raise the vibrations within a satsang to such a level where it will become possible to get healed. The bhajans, even though they praise the Lord, are written by human beings. They will not raise the vibrations to that extent. Bani is Sarab Rog ka Aukhad Naam, meaning recitation of God's name cures all diseases. Just as we require a map to guide us, similarly we need satsang to find our way to the light. It is by attending satsangs that we rid ourselves of ifs and buts. We become positive and gain spiritual knowledge. As water has the tendency to run to low areas, so does the human mind have a tendency to run down to the pleasures of the senses. The only way to keep the mind away from such negativity is to seek satsang. Not everyone can attend a satsang. You need good karmas for that. The moment you leave your house to attend a satsang, you start gaining the benefits provided you are going with love and faith. Guruji would often play this shabad in the sangat for all of us. Once you understand the meaning, you will never waste a minute of satsang. Bhai Parapat Manuk Dehuriya. This human body has been given to you. Gobind Milan ki eh teri bariya. This is your chance to meet the Lord of the universe. Avar kaaj tere kitay na kaam. Nothing else will work. Mil Sat Sangat Paj Keval Naam. Join the Sat Sangat, the company of the holy. Vibrate and meditate on the jewel of the Naam. Saranjam lag bhavjal taran ke. Make every effort to cross over this terrifying world. Janam birtha jat rang maya ke. You're squandering this life uselessly in the love of Maya. Kai janam bhai keet patanga. In so many incarnations, you were a worm and an insect. Kai janam gaj meen kuranga. In so many incarnations, you were an elephant, a fish, and a deer. Kai janam pankhi sarap hoyo. In so many incarnations, you were a bird and a snake. Kai janam haver prikh joyo. In so many incarnations, you were yoked as an ox and a horse. Mil Jagdish Milan ki bariya. Meet the Lord of the universe. Now is the time to meet him. Chiran kal e deh sanjariya. After so very long, this human body was fashioned for you. You are squandering this life uselessly in the love of Maya. मैं संगत ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਬਣਾਤਾ ਇਹੀ ਕੰਮ ਆਉਗੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏਗਾ I have made this Sangat your family. In times of need, they will come to your help and no one else. Sangat is the true family. The worldly relations are tied together by the thread of Maya, whereas the Sangat is tied together by the Guru's blessings. There is another very interesting story that shows how just a few minutes of satsang have the power to make a sinner reach heaven. There was once a rich man who had never done a good deed in his entire life. At the station, he is looking for someone to carry his luggage. He sees an old man and asks him if he would like to make some money by carrying his luggage for him. The old man agrees to carry his luggage on one condition. You will have to listen to satsang throughout the journey. The rich man agrees, and throughout the time it took for them to reach the rich man's house, the old man did satsang and praised the Lord. On reaching, since it was dark, the rich man allows the old man to spend the night at his house and leave in the morning. You will not see the sunrise tomorrow, said the old man. I can see that you will die tonight. But remember, as you approach Dharamraj, the record keeper of all our deeds, he will tell you that you are worthy to be put in hell, but because you have listened to satsang for an hour, you will get 4 times the amount of time in heaven. Do you wish to first go to hell or heaven? Remember to ask for heaven first. Thinking of him to be old and crazy, the rich man dismisses his advice. However, just as predicted, the rich man dies that very night. After death, when he is taken to Dharamrai, he says, You are a sinner and have never done a good deed in your life. But because you have done satsang for an hour, I will give you 4 hours in heaven. Do you want to go to heaven first or hell? On hearing this, he is reminded of the old man's advice and asks for heaven first. He is beaten and dragged to the gates of heaven by Dharamrai's men and is told that they will be waiting for him here and that he must return in 4 hours. On entering heaven, he sees beauty and peace as never seen before. Lots of people are sitting and chanting the Lord's name, and he too goes and sits among them. After some time, he gets very worried about overspending his time allowed here, and just as he is about to get up, he sees the same old man who had carried his luggage for him. I see you have taken my advice. Now why are you so restless? Asked the old man. I have been told to come out after my time here is over, or Dharamrai's men will beat me, replied the rich man. You are such a fool. Can't you see that they could not enter the gates of heaven? So if they can't enter, there is no way they can take you out. By listening to satsang for 1 hour, you have managed to reach heaven. ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਬੈਠੋਗੇ ਉਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੁੱਠੇ ਲੇਖ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ. Each time you come and sit among the Sangat, your bad karmas will soon be replaced by good karmas. Guruji stressed on the importance of his Sangat and doing satsang. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਭਗਤ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੋਏ. ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ. I love those disciples who have been accepted and loved by my Sangat. Those who think they can reach me without my Sangat accepting them or loving them are mistaken. जय गुरुजी। आज की रीडिंग बस यहीं तक। कल फिर अगले चैप्टर से शुरू करेंगे। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सबको बहुत अच्छा लगा। सुखमनी आंटी का भी फिर से शुक्राना अपनी इतने ब्यूटीफुल एक्सपीरियंसेस को हमारे साथ शेयर करने के लिए। जय गुरुजी।